A neighborhood focusing on curbing its infant death rate, Cincinnati's chief of police visiting Ferguson, Missouri, and how one college is inspiring high school students to choose a career. I'm Catherine Beek. These stories and more topped this week's headlines on WCPO.com Insider. First, a study out of Maryland says the Cincinnati School for Creative and Performing Arts is impaired by accountability and widespread culture issues. In 2014, the school's private fundraising group lost almost $500,000 after it invested it with a company that turned out to be a Ponzi scheme. The study called for a new senior financial officer position to be created, as well as an executive director position to oversee the school's operations and management. The communities of Walnut Hills and Mount Auburn are working together to find better ways for pregnant women living in those areas to have access to health care. A closed community health center, lack of groceries, and issues with transportation are just some of those barriers. The nonprofit Cradle Cincinnati report released last week showed 96 infants died before their first birthday in 2014, a slight increase from the year before. Dissecting sheep eyeballs and building jet engines? That's what area high schoolers have been testing out at Cincinnati State. A biology professor at the college taught students what she knows in hopes of sparking some ideas as they begin to think about higher education. Cincinnati's Police Chief Jeffrey Blackwell visited the memorial where 18-year-old Michael Brown was shot and killed by a police officer last August in Ferguson, Missouri. It was an unplanned visit. Blackwell was training Missouri police officers in the St. Louis area on how to build stronger relationships with their communities when he chose to make the 20-minute trip. And finally, WCPO has created an interactive map that shows crime rates for various Cincinnati neighborhoods. Based on police reports and U.S. Census data, the map shows crimes dating back to January of 2014. It shows the number of robberies in February 2015 have risen slightly from the same time last year, while the number of homicides and assaults have actually decreased. Get more of this week's top insider stories on WCPO.com.